it's all over to you.
Welcome to the annual town meeting of the East Grinstead Town Council. The first item on the agenda is to elect a chairman for the coming year. I would ask the leader of the council to please read the nominations.
Leader, I'm afraid you're muted.
My apologies, I'll start again.
All right, mate.
Thank you, Town Mayor. I would like to nominate you to remain as chair for the 2021 and 2022 year. And that nomination is Councillor DeBell.
Thank you.
I would like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed. Are there any other nominations? In that case, I believe that I am now the chairman. Is that correct? We still have to take a vote. I understand.
Yes,
please. Can I have a show of hands to support that?
Congratulations,
Thank
Town
you
Mayor.
so much, everybody. Oh, I'm reading the script as we speak. I am indeed very honoured to continue as your town mayor. These are unusual times, and I think we all recognise that as we're talking in little photographs tonight rather than actually around the table together. It's been a very difficult year. We had a wonderful town mayor at the start of last year, Danny Favor, bless him, and we switched towards the end of last year. But there isn't very much that we can do at the moment in terms of events. But I am very pleased and very proud and honoured to be your representative. I represent you. I serve at your pleasure as your town mayor for this year. Before we go any further tonight, I would like to say a very special message to Councillor Fraser Visser, who would love to be with us tonight. He's a very capable and very able planning chairman, but his little daughter, Fleur, is very poorly. And as I understand it, she's in hospital at the moment. And so quite rightly, he's with her. And our thoughts and prayers are with them tonight. Thank you. Carrying on with the agenda.
You need to sign the declaration, please.
Sorry, absolutely. Item 2 on the agenda is to appoint a deputy town mayor.
No, sorry, Town Mayor. Town Mayor, you need to sign the declaration, which you need to read out first,
sorry,
please.
yes.
And then you formally become town mayor again.
I'll read it out. It says, I, John Neville DeBell, having been elected to the office of town mayor of the East Grinstead Town Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly, faithfully fulfill the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code as to the conduct which is expected of members of the East Grinstead Town Council this 5th of May 2021, and I sign it in your presence. Thank you very much, Judy. As always, for all that you do and keeping us online. Now, item 2 on the agenda to appoint a deputy town mayor for the 21-22 civic year. Do I have a nomination?
Town Mayor, you're going to make that nomination because Councillor Visser's not here.
Oh no, that's the I think that's the one that that our town leader on my script does.
Town Mayor, I'm seconding, and
I'm so sorry. In which case,
nominating.
I have nominated my extremely capable deputy town mayor, Adam Peacock, who's done a wonderful job over the last 6 months or so while we've been working together. Thank you, Adam, and I'd like to nominate you.
And I would like to second that nomination, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed. And can I have a vote? Are there any other nominations? No. You see, I'm trying. Very trying. No. Can I have a show of hands to accept that? Bless you all. Thank you. Okay.
I
You
shall
need
now
to sign
sign
the
the-
declaration of office.
Thank you, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed. The next item is apologies for absence. Town Clerk, are there any?
We've had apologies from Councillor Visser, has already been heard due to a family sickness. Councillor Odious sent apologies. He will be late, but he will be joining us.
Fantastic. And I also would like to add Councillor Scott, who apparently is unusually with a business appointment this evening, and therefore is likely to be highly late and not indeed making it to the meeting.
Okay. Chairman, can I ask please that we accept those apologies tonight, because if for any reason we're unable to meet for the next 6 months, not that that's
Yeah.
envisaged, it will ensure that those councillors do not lose their seats. So could we please accept those ones, which means I will need them to be proposed, seconded and voted for, please.
I would propose that we accept those. Can I have a seconder for that?
I would like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Town Mayor. Can I have a show of hands to accept those apologies? Bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item 4 is to confirm the minutes of the Town Council held on the 12th of April. These have been previously circulated, and I'm assuming that everyone's read them. I would like to propose them as a true record of that meeting. May I have a second?
I'd like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Town Mayor. Are there any questions? In which case, can I have a show of hands to show that we're all in favour of those accepting those? Thank you very much indeed. Item 5 is to receive a report of councillors' attendance at meetings of council and standing committees during 2021 civic year, tabled as Appendix A. I propose that we accept these as a true record. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second that proposal, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much, Deputy Town Mayor. Can I have a show of hands that we accept those? Thank you very much indeed. Item number 6 is to appoint the leader of the council in accordance with TR3 of the East Grinstead Town Council standing orders, which is that the leader of the majority group will be the leader of the council. Councillor Dick Sweatman is the leader of the majority group, is therefore by default the leader of the council, and is therefore appointed. May I ask that the council note the appointment? Can I just have a show of hands to say we note that? Thank you very much indeed. Bless you. Item 7 is to amend standing orders. Having discussed the size of the committees during the past year, we have a proposal to make them more operational as smaller units, alleviating some of the workload for some councillors who are sitting on as many as 3 different committees, and trimming down some of the basic items that proceed to the planning committee. The proposals are laid out in the papers. Councillor Sweatman, would you like to propose these?
Excuse me. Thank you, Town Mayor. We are proposing changes to Standing Order 26 and TR1, as you say, are laid out in the papers. I'm happy to take any questions, or Councillor Visser, who is not here, would have been asked to assist on these regarding the planning committee, but I'm happy to take any questions regarding that. Thank you, Town Mayor.
Do we have any questions?
It needs to be seconded first, please, Town Mayor.
Yeah, I'm happy to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed.
Councillor
Oh,
Amos
can
has his
I have a
hand
show
up,
of
Chairman.
hands? Sorry.
Sorry, Chairman. Councillor Amos has his hand up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Councillor Amos. I'm sorry, Councillor Amos, we can't hear you.
Mm.
I think Councillor Amos having a bit of a problem with his computer. We'll give him a few more minutes, seconds to sort it out.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Oh, excellent.
Fire away, sir.
Are we going to vote on these individually or on block?
We're voting on these on blockers, I believe.
Okay. Well, could I speak on them, please? Yeah. Okay. Well, can you hear me still?
I can hear you now.
Can I speak on them, please?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I would be opposed to the first amendment to the standing orders because it essentially increases councillors' expenses per attendance by 19.3%, and I don't see that as acceptable, especially given the various councillors today have said that they're reducing the workload. Why should you be paid proportionately more to do less work? It seems absurd to me. You're still going to be printing the same amount of papers, you're still going to be driving the same place. So I think if you are going to cut down the number of meetings, the equivalent of 3 councillors worth you're going to lose of attendance, you should be cutting the councillors' allowance. Now, let me address Dick's comment about making it more operational. I don't deny that smaller committees usually are more effective, but the allowance is there for expenses. But let's just accept for the moment that the allowances are there for doing work, I suppose. If it's admitted that we're going to be more productive this year than we were last year we were being overpaid. So given the fact that we were being overpaid last year because we were doing a worse job, according to the proponents of this policy who say we're going to do a better job, then we should carry over the pay cut from last year to this year. So we should be reducing the expenditure. We should be lowering allowances. And then finally, I want to talk about planning training, which will be in here. That's just going to increase the cost to taxpayers, getting everybody to take planning training. And it's not very useful planning training because the policies are so flexible that you can say pretty much whatever you like. And most of the time, councillors that are on the planning committee don't come with papers prepared, and they have not referenced the district policies or the town council policies. They just ad-lib it. So I don't think we should be having more training. That would be my case against the amendments to the standing order. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Amos. I was going to say, you've made your points. Did you want to put forward a proposal on anything that you just said, or is that it?
Chairman, you do have a proposal on the table already, so the councillor is simply speaking against the item.
This would be an amendment to the proposal, yes? Yes.
I'm just against this. I don't want any of these amendments. So there's no need for a proposal. I'm just saying vote against. Thanks.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Amos.
Councillor Belsey has his hand up, Chairman.
Thank you very much. And it's really just particularly for any members of the public that might subsequently watch this meeting, etc. I understand the point that Councillor Amos makes. However, I'm sure many of us on this meeting today find that our lives as councillors are not defined by meetings themselves. I mean, many of us work day in, day out for our residents, responding to emails, telephone calls, going round to sort of see particular issues that they have, going to community events and representing the town council and other outside bodies. And in fact, the actual meeting part of our role is quite a very small portion of the overall responsibility and privilege that comes with being a councillor. So whilst I can understand the point as far as it relates to meetings, I think it really underestimates and doesn't do justice to the role that's required in being a councillor. And so for that, I won't be supporting Councillor Amos's viewpoint, but thank you very much for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Both points very well made. Thank you, Councillor Belsier. I'm not going to ask you to come back on that, Councillor Amos. We've got a vote on the table and we're going to go to that. You've had your opportunity. Thank you. So I'm going to take you to the vote on that, please. It's been proposed and I believe it's been seconded. Is that correct, Town Clerk?
Yes.
In which case, can I have a show of hands for support for the motion?
That's the majority, so that is carried, Chairman.
That is carried. Thank you. Right now, I'm just catching up on where we are. Do excuse me for a second. Item 8, to appoint members to serve on the following committees for 21-22 and to elect chairman and vice chairman of those committees, noting that the town mayor and deputy town mayor are ex officio on each committee. Planning is the first one. The following 7 members are nominated to serve this committee. Councillors John Belsey, Julie, Councillor Favor, Councillor Odey, Councillor Osborne, Councillor Scott, and of course Councillor Visser. I propose these. May I have a second, please?
I would like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed, Deputy Town Mayor. Public Services. The following 7 members are nominated to serve this committee.
Sorry, Chairman,
Councillor.
before you move on, can you take a vote on planning?
I'm so sorry. Okay. I was going to do them on block. I'm terribly sorry and thank you for keeping me in order. Can we have a vote on that? It's been proposed, it's been seconded.
That's lovely.
Thank you very much indeed. And now we move on to the next item, which is public services. The following 7 members are nominated to serve this committee: Councillor Amos, Councillor Mrs. Bennett, Councillor John Belsey, Councillor Favor, Councillor Mrs. Mockford, Councillor Whitaker, and Councillor Woodgate. I propose these. May I have a second, please?
I would like to second those, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed. And remembering this time, can we have a vote on that, please? Thank you very much indeed. That is carried. Amenities in tourism. The following 7 members are nominated to serve the committee: Councillors Amos, Julie, Councillor Mrs. Farron, Councillor Mrs. Mainston, Councillor Matthews, Councillor Osborne, and Councillor Swetton. I propose these. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second those, Town Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Town Mayor. And can I have a show of hands, please, for those committees? Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. And Finance and General Purposes Committee. The committee will be composed of the chairman of the 3 other standing committees yet to be agreed, plus the following 4 members: Mrs. Belsey, Councillor Mrs. Belsey, I do apologise, Councillor Matthews, Councillor Swetman, and Councillor Whitaker. I propose these. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second these, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed. And can I have a show of hands in support of those nominations? That's excellent. Thank you very much indeed. I now adjourn this meeting in order for the committees to elect their chairman. And I will bang my gavel.
And the time on that one is 7:19, Chairman. Do you concur?
I do concur.
Lovely, thank you.
And I convene a meeting of the Planning Committee. I would like to nominate Councillor Visser to be the chair. May I have a second?
I'd like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed. Are there any other nominations to be chairman of that committee? I don't see any. Are the committee all in favour? So the committee only to put their hands up for that. I'm not too sure. Town Clerk, can the mayor and deputy mayor vote on that committee, we're ex officio. And
Yes,
we can.
you can vote on. You can vote on all of them. Yes.
Bless you. Thank you. I would therefore congratulate Councillor Visser, and now I would normally turn his committee over to him, but as we've discussed, Councillor Visser is sadly attending his dear daughter this evening in hospital, and so I'm going to turn it over to Councillor Steve Odey, a member of that committee, to propose Councillor Visser.
Chairman, you've already proposed Councillor Visser, and Councillor Visser you've already accepted as planning, as the planning chairman. We now need somebody to propose a vice chair, so I would suggest perhaps not Councillor Odey to do that.
In which case, I would propose Councillor Odey as vice chair of that committee.
I will second that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. I'm reading the script as we speak and running all the way.
We do need to check for any other nominations and then take a vote.
Are there any other nominations for vice chair of that committee? There are none. So planning committee only, can we vote on Councillor Odey being vice chair of that committee?
That's carried.
That's carried. Thank you. As there is no other business, normally this would be Councillor Visser closing this meeting now because it's his committee. No other business. I'd like to remind the committee that you are meeting on the 10th of May at 7 p.m. and Councillor Visser, in his absence, closes this meeting at
7:22, Chair.
Thank you very much indeed. I would like to convene a meeting of the Public Services Committee. I would like to nominate Councillor Woodgate to be the chair. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much, Deputy Town Mayor. Are there any other nominations? In which case, Public Services Committee members only, can I have a show of hands in support of that nomination? Thank you very much indeed. That is carried. And now, moving speedily along, congratulations, Councillor Woodgate. I now turn your committee over to you.
Thank you, Town Mayor. I should like to propose Councillor Vervoort to be my vice chair. May I have a second for that?
I would be happy to nominate Councillor Vervoort.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? As the I've now forgotten my bit.
Are the committee in favour? Please raise their hands.
Yes, are the committee in favour? Could I have a show of hands? Thank you.
That's fine.
Thank you very much. So thank you. As there is no other business other than to thank the outgoing chairman, Councillor Mockford. Thank you for all your hard work over the last 3 years. I'd like to remind the next committee meeting is on the 3rd of June. I'd like to close this meeting at 19:24.
Thank you so much. Can I just say at this stage, it isn't easy doing everything on Zoom, and I do appreciate the effort everybody's putting in to get this right tonight, and I particularly value dear town clerk who keeps us all on track. And bless you, thank you. Okay, the next one is to I now convene a meeting of the Amenities and Tourism Committee. I would like to nominate Councillor Mrs. Farron to be the chair. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed, Deputy Town Mayor. Are there any other nominations? There aren't any, and therefore I will take a vote. Can we have a show of hands for Councillor Mrs. Farron? Very well done and very well deserved. Thank you very much indeed. Councillor Mrs. Farron, can I turn your meeting over to you?
Thank you, Town Mayor. I should like to propose Councillor Dooley to be my vice chairman. May I please have a second?
I'd like to second your proposal.
Thank you, Councillor Mainstone. Are there any other nominations? As there are no other nominations, would the Amenities and Tourism Committee please like to take a vote?
That's carried.
Thank you. As the committee are all in favour, oh, I need to turn my script over now, that Councillor Dooley is chair. Thank you. As there is no other business other than to remind the committee that our next meeting will be on the 10th of June, I should like to close the meeting at 19:25. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And indeed, just thinking about all the people that have gone before us on these committees, a very big thank you to those, especially Councillor Mrs. Mainstone. I would now like to convene the meeting of the Finance and General Purposes Committee. I would like to nominate Councillor Sweatman as leader of the council to be the chair. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much, Deputy Town Mayor. Are there any other nominations? I see none, and therefore, can we take a vote on Councillor Sweatman? Thank you very much indeed. I would now turn your committee over to you, Councillor Sweatman.
Thank you, Town Mayor. And I would like to propose Councillor Woodgate to be my vice chairman. May I have a second, please?
I would like to nominate Councillor Woodgate as vice chairman.
Chairman, are there any other nominations for that position?
I see none.
I see none. Are the committee all in favour? Have a show of hands, please.
That's carried.
Thank you. As I have no other business other than to remind the committee that the next meeting of the committee is the 17th of June, and I should like to close this meeting at 19:27 hours. Thank you, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much, Town Leader. And so I now recommence the council meeting at
7:28, Chair.
7:28. Thank you very much indeed. The next item, item 9, is to note the time of commencement of council meetings for the year 2021 as 7 p.m. and that the period of public question time at the commencement of the ordinary town council meetings is half an hour. Members are also asked to note that the dates of meetings are as approved at council minute 51060121. Is this noted? Can I have a show of hands? Thank you very much indeed, everybody. Moving swiftly on. To determine the methods of meetings, I'm hoping I've not turned 2 pages over, Town Clerk.
No, you're fine.
We're fine. To determine the method of meetings for 2021, as the legislation has now been clarified that virtual meetings may not continue after the 6th of May. Council are asked to confirm that council and committee will revert to delegated decisions under S101 of the Local Government Act 1972. This will allow councillors and participating staff to have had at least 1 dose of the vaccine. Advisory meetings will be called via Zoom, allowing all councillors to express their views on the items which will then be determined by delegated decision at the meeting. Once all councillors have received their first dose of vaccine, current calculations between the 17th of June and the 21st of July, 14 days after this, the risk of transmissions becomes much smaller, and it is reasonable to suggest that meetings could resume from that time. For those who wish to attend, Councillors are asked to remember that the current law requires not just entry for the committee, but for all councillors and as many members of the public who wish to attend. If we cannot accommodate all of these people safely, then meetings would have to be cancelled. The option of a full meeting outdoors is not really suitable, as it will be difficult to hear and may have to be cancelled because of poor weather. For this reason, scheduled meetings from the 10th of May to occur physically at East Court is not feasible. If deemed urgent, a face-to-face meeting, with the greatest of respect, can be called. Social distancing, test and trace and other measures will have to be brought in at that time, dependent on the government advice. Meetings can be reinstated from the 5th of July, the date of the July council meeting, if councillors have received or been offered their first jab. From beginning of July, the Meridian Hall will return to our use. Coupled with the vaccination, this will enable the council's risk assessment to make meetings possible. Special council will, however, have to meet on the 21st of June to agree the annual financial return, as this cannot be delegated. But this will be one item face-to-face meeting, following on from the advisory F&GP of the same day. Council are asked to approve that all meetings be suspended as outlined above, and for the scheme of delegation via advisory meetings for all decisions continuing until the 5th of July. I propose this. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second that, Town Mayor.
Thank you very much indeed, Deputy Town Mayor. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on this issue? He said with bated breath. No, I see no hands raised.
Chairman, Councillor Amos has raised his hand.
Oh, he's coming. Bless him. Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Amos. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I wanted to let others speak before me. I thought there would be more debate, but I will put forward my 6 arguments that I have prepared.
We can only just hear you. I'm sorry, Charles. We can only just hear you, chap.
Okay, I'll put forward six arguments against this proposal. So 1, the risk is more than tolerable. It is safe. Note that the council papers don't define safety at all, so that makes that piece of paper woefully inadequate. So it's the same argument I made last time. In 2014-15, 27,000 people died of flu. That works out at a mortality rate of about 0.2. Given the efficacy of vaccines averaged is about 85%, if you multiply 0.9, which is the mortality rate of coronavirus, by 0.15, you get a figure of 0.18, which is less than 0.2. Which means that if we allowed meetings in 2014-15, we should allow them now, because that is the line that we drew then. So we should allow them now. That is the line for safety. 99% of all of the deaths that have occurred as a result of coronavirus, those groups that account for those deaths have been vaccinated. Those aged under 40 have a mortality rate of coronavirus of 0.084. So there's no reason as to why young people who won't have been vaccinated should be not allowed into the council. Now, as to the previous point made that of, oh, what about unvaccinated people that come in? They present a risk to other people. Yes, they do. But that argument doesn't hold, because we are going to allow unvaccinated people into the chamber after everybody has been offered a vaccine. So if you're going to say we can't allow people to come in unvaccinated, you couldn't have meetings at all ever, because there will always be somebody that will have or that will be unvaccinated that wants to come in. And then second argument, that was my 4th. From the 17th of May, there'll be bustling bars and pubs and all that kind of stuff. And if we're going to allow staff in those predicaments to get coronavirus or potentially get coronavirus, why can't we allow staff and councillors to do the same thing? 3, we're elected to attend meetings as public officials, not fake meetings, which is what these meetings would be. The power would lie with the chairman and the town clerk, and that's a fake meeting, and that's simply not on. 5, it sets the precedent if we go ahead with this now for winter going back to these virtual meetings. You can just see it now that it will get slightly worse in September, November, October, and you'll say, oh, well, we didn't have meetings in July, so, or rather June, why should we have them now? And then we won't have any physical meetings and we'll have to wait till next summer. So it's ridiculous. And then lastly, this is my last point, and this may sound absurd, but it must be remembered that every authoritarian regime in history that has come about has started with temporary measures that are for the greater good. And everybody will smile and laugh and go, oh, that won't happen here. But guess what? In every single one of those authoritarian countries, they all said, as Hayek wrote in 1945, it wouldn't happen here. I don't think it will happen here, but I don't think we as councillors should set the very dangerous precedent for allowing officials and chairmen to have control over the legislature that is the council and its committees. So I would urge all members to vote against these unsound proposals. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Councillor Amos. Would you mind if I just ask you, have you had your jab yet? Do you mind answering that? You haven't. Well, I hope you get it soon. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna vote on the motion that has been proposed and it's been seconded to go through with the item on the agenda. So can I have a show of hands to go with that, please?
That's the majority.
Thank you very much indeed. Where are we? I'm sorry. I was listening to everything that was said there, and I can understand the wishes behind it. I really can. Item 11 is to nominate 5 members plus the town mayor to sign checks on behalf of the town council and to sign checks on the imprest account in the absence of the town clerk. The nominees are the town mayor plus councillors Mrs. Belsey, Councillor Fabor, Councillor Mrs. Mockford, Councillor Osborne, Councillor Sweatman. May I have a proposal, please?
I'd like to propose them, please, town mayor.
And can I have a second, please?
Town mayor, I'd like to second that proposal. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Can I have a vote of all those in favour, please? Thank you very much indeed. I don't understand why we've gone from item 11 to now item 10, but we shall carry on.
Next one's item 12. It's on the script, it's not quite right. It's 12 on the agenda, Chair.
That's something that looks like something I could actually have written. To authorise the town clerk, Mrs. Julie Holden, to sign checks on the imprest account during 2021, subject to a limit of £5,900 in any 1 month. Nota bene, this represents no change to the amount that was approved in 2021 of £5,900. I will propose this. May I have a second, please?
I'd like to second, town mayor.
Thank you very much indeed, Deputy Town Mayor. And can I have a show of hands, please, in support of that motion? Bless you. Thank you very much indeed. And now to appoint the following representatives to serve on the undermentioned bodies for the 2021-22 year. I should take a vote on block for this. I am struggling to read them a little bit. Do bear with me a little bit. But these members who give their time for these individual units of these individual things are very important to us. Buller.
Town Mayor, the leader is going to propose.
I think it's Councillor Sweatman that's proposing these, so I think you have to read these. Go ahead, Councillor Sweatman.
Thank you, Chair Mayor. Indeed, I do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right, I'll be as brief quickly as possible. East Grinstead Town Twinning Association is Councillor Scott. Mid Sussex District Association of Parish Councils is Councillor Mrs Mockford and Councillor Whitaker. HUK East Grinstead District is Councillor Woodgate. East Grinstead Music Arts and Festival is Councillor Favor. Disability Access Group East Grinstead and area is Councillor Mrs Mainstone. East Grinstead in Bloom is Councillor Dooley. East Grinstead Business Association Executive Committee is Councillor John Belsey. East Grinstead Shopping Promotions Committee is myself and Councillor Amos. East Grinstead Fair Trade Town Steering Group is Councillor Mrs Bennett. Mid Sussex Association of Town Councils is Town Mayor. Myself, being the leader of the majority group, and the leader of the minority group, and one other. So that will be the Town Mayor, myself, Councillor Amos, and Councillor Woodgate. Greenstead Talking News for the Blind is Councillor Peacock. Felbridge Beef and Faggot Trust, excuse me, always have to smile at that one, is Councillor DeBell, oh, beg your pardon, Town Mayor. The Sang Steering Group at Mid Sussex District Council is Councillors Osborne and Councillor Visser. East Grinstead Sports Council is Councillor Odie, and the East Grinstead Food Bank is myself. Thank you, Town Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a second for these nominations?
Yes, Town Mayor, I would like to second them as read.
Thank you very much indeed. And can I have a show of hands?
That's carried.
And I think, I know that we would all also like to thank all of those who stood on external committees last year. I particularly enjoy dealing with the Beef and Faggot Trust, which is not as funny as it sounds, and I'll be happy to explain it all to you at some stage. Lovely people, and it is working with a charity. I don't believe there are any other items on the agenda. I don't think that there's anything been proposed extra for this meeting this evening. Is that right, Town Clerk?
There's nothing further. That's right.
In which case, reminding everybody that next meeting is Monday, the 5th of July. And I really, really thank all of you for all the time that you give. It's an honour to serve you. And I really wish that we could have gone through to the Mayor's Parlour this evening. And I look forward to the time when we can. God bless you all. And I close this meeting at, Town Clerk?
7:43, Chair.
Bless you. Thanks ever so much. It's been lovely seeing everybody.
Thanks, Town Mayor. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Recording.